everybody. Hope this is working. Hello, hello. Let me know if this is working. I'll type good morning. And I'll fix my camera a little. So while I'm waiting for hellos from people, I want to introduce what this is going to be. This is going to be a live stream group healing, group energy healing for, yay, I got my first hello. Oh, Bambi's saying hi too. This is Bambi. See, that's Bambi. Hello, hello. Thank you for my hellos. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Hi. Um, so, for a few of you won't know, my name is Janet Wright, and I'm an energy healer, reader, and teacher. So, hello, hello, yay! And so I'm going to be doing this group healing on 100 prepaid participants. And I will explain what I do as I do it. It'll be, on chakras, aura, grounding, etc., etc., etc. And it's the second healing in a 3 healing set called the triplet group energy healing set that I do triplet because it's 3 healings, Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday. And so this is the second in that set, the Sunday healing. And I do one of those each month starting on the first Friday of each month. And so the February one, there's still space for that. Oh, I did, usually I don't talk about healings and what's available for purchase and all that right at the start. I do it right at the end. But then I thought, well, yeah, but a lot of people don't listen all the way to the end, so it's kind of unfair for them. So if you're busy, you don't have time to listen all the way to the end, I'm just gonna do a moment right now. If everyone can forgive the non-chakra talk. It's kind of chakra talk. So the healing coming up on January 19th, which is the 3rd Sunday of January, which is soon. That's 14 days from now, 2 weeks from now. Exactly. So January 19th, that is going to be a healing masterclass. So a 1 healing all by itself with Archangel help, even more than this one. Archangel messages will be spiced in there from Ariel and Jophiel to help inform, the techniques that I use, help me, and just teach us all. But the healing, that will be healing as well, and it will be on inner child healing and playfulness. So I have seen that literally everyone could use inner child healing. I mean, even if you did have a great childhood. Just because even if you did have a great childhood, kids are learning and, they don't have a lot of power and, so it's easy for a kid to get blocked up and upset. And that actually has a lasting effect potentially. But the good news is, there's always good news in energy healing. The good news is you can heal from even what might be seen as a small trauma to something that's really giant trauma. It can be healed. So we'll do some of that in 2 weeks. There are like 22 spots left for that. So that's why I wanted to say it now and not save it till the end, because the people that, maybe just listen right at the start and that's it, they'll never know that it's almost sold out. So it's almost sold out. And then the February healings are also up on my website, and they're about having good energy and focus and presence in the afternoon and evening every day of your life, because most people kind of peter out as the day goes on. Like their energy degrades, and they may not feel that it degrades until they really feel it. But then they just assume, oh, I'm just tired, So, but it's not literally true. There's energy degrading happening. Like people are just sort of breaking down every day, in the afternoon and evening. So we're gonna try to clear some of the root causes for that to help you have better afternoons and evenings every day for the rest of your life. And then the February master class is on mornings and sleeping well. So that's the already popular topic of, sleeping well, waking up better with more energy, clarity, focus, motivation. So I got some nice hellos. A compliment on my hair. Hello, hello. Yes, we have people watching from Qatar, all sorts of. Oh, speaking of which, I get to talk about my geeky country count before we start too. Usually I say that in the Friday killing, but I really didn't last time. So we have, of the 100 prepaid participants that I will be healing in this live stream, the 100 people are from 10 different countries, including 6 kids, ages 8 to 14. And the countries, the US, there are 75 healing participants in the US that I'll be healing, 6 in Indonesia, hello, hello, and 4 in the United Arab Emirates, hello, hello, and 5 in Canada, hi, and 4 in the UK, hello, hello, and 2 in Australia, hello, stay safe, and 1 in Qatar, hi, and 1 in South Korea, hello, hello, if she's awake yet, I don't know, and 1 in India, hello, 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 and 1 in Spain, hello. So hi to everybody, and I know I have viewers from all over. On Friday, I had a viewer from Iran, currently in Iran, and I didn't get it. I don't like pointing that out because I don't want to draw attention to people in too much, in an uncomfortable way for them. But I'm really excited always when I get people from all over the world, just because I mean, everybody is a soul. Everybody has chakras. Everybody needs healing. Everybody deserves healing, and so I'm happy, very happy, to work with everybody. Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. Somebody just said they just liked the video. Yeah, that's another thing I usually forget to say. Please give this a thumbs up if you would, if you think it's going to be good. I know it's a little early because we haven't gotten into it yet, but if you already know that it's going to be good, then please give it a thumbs up because that could help YouTube to suggest the live stream to others. And later when it's saved to a video, it could help YouTube to value the video more and then suggest it to others. So I can preview what we're going to do today. Thank you everybody for your surveys. I did get a bunch of surveys and I read them up until this time. I read them up till like maybe 7:30 my time, and then I just had to stop. So that's like 10:30 Eastern yesterday. I read them until. So I did get a lot of replies, and I appreciate that a lot. It makes it just a lot easier for me to do spot checks on people if I see a survey from them. Also, like people's conscious experience, that takes a lot more time for me to look at. Like I can look at grounding, aura, chakras, yada, 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 so quick and easy on like everybody. But the fact that somebody, has had a headache for 3 days, that's going to take me a lot longer to look at. And with 100 people, I'm just not going to. So if you don't put on a survey, I don't know. So thanks, that helps. So the overview for today, there will be, in addition to just general aura healing, grounding, unblocking, awesomeness, we'll do 5 technical things that I know of, and then if we need some other things, I'll do it. So that's Yo-Yo. So anyway, so the 5 technical things that we will be doing is a little bit of a follow-up on what we did on Friday with the rings, these gold rings in your Wei Qi auras. So Wei Qi auras are for strong energy boundaries. Wei Qi is a traditional Chinese medicine concept that has to do with strong boundaries energy. Essentially, that's how you would say it in psychic energy healing speak. So this strong energy boundaries energy, that's what your Wei Qi auras help you with, and you have 15 of them, and they're all the same in the same place. They're part of your spirit, part of you. And so we've done, since last month, we've done Wei Qi aura healing, and I'll be doing that in the triplet sets for a while, probably. But then the angels taught me that there are these 4 rings in each of these Wei Qi auras, and if you repair those 4 rings, then the whole aura starts repairing. It activates this like self-healing process, and they all just kind of keep putting themselves back together again without you having to do anything. Yeah. And also even your creative rings start repairing and calming down and sealing up, and all the flaps seal in there in your chakras, like just by fixing the 4 rings in each of your Wei Qi auras. Fixing meaning you use a lot of gold light in that spot, and then they just put themselves back together, the rings of the Wei Qi auras. So anyway, we did that on Friday, and I'll link that video below, just the live stream. And there's even a timestamp that I put for so you can go to that exact spot. It's like a 23-minute segment of Friday's video where I heal the Wei Qi aura rings for everybody. And I noticed, just a follow-up on that we'll do today, I noticed that those rings can have cracks in them. So everybody's rings are whole now, but just because they've been, I guess, broken for so long, they still have little cracks, a lot of people's rings. And so we're gonna just heal them more. Same way, just lots of gold light directed around them and at them, gold healing energy, and then that'll melt away the cracks and continue the repair process. So that's what we'll do today, and then much more. But wait, there's more. So GV and CV meridians, again, a Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, inspired by traditional Chinese medicine, because the meridians are there, they figured that out. I didn't figure that out. But anyway, the CV one goes straight up to like inside your mouth, to like your tongue, the tip of your tongue. It goes from I should show on AccuDoll. So the CV meridian, the external part of it goes like this, up, right there. And then the GV meridian goes all the way around the head. So I don't know if that looked right. There we go. Right around to the roof of the mouth right there. And so that the GV one and the CV one, and they're really important. There are a bunch of meridians in the body, but the CV one, in a sort of a rough sense, is sort of the boss of or the manager or the helper of all the yin meridians. And then the GV one is sort of the boss or the helper or the manager of all the yang meridians. So this one helps all the yin meridians, that one helps all the yang meridians. So I noticed that people really needed repair on those 2 meridians. So we're gonna do that today. We're gonna do GV and CV repair. Repairing those 2 Chinese medicine meridians, traditional Chinese medicine meridians. I noticed that people that most needed repair are sick right now. Like they have headaches or insomnia issues, or they've had a head cold for several days, stuff like that. So thanks to your surveys, I know that part. So but yeah, it corresponded with people having big issues with GV and CV. So if you feel like you're getting sick, if you feel like you're particularly low energy, do GV and CV healing, because these Chinese medicine meridians, they manage your body, your physical body, and they manage the energy flow and the health. And so since that one and this, you can heal all of them, with energy healing, which is super cool. But at least doing the two, it's sort of like a cheater way to help all of them. And so that's what we're gonna do today. So that's the second technical thing we're doing today. The third technical thing that we're doing today, which I again noticed thanks to people's surveys in a way, and my own meditations and observations, is blackened auras. We're going to address that. So blackened aura is like, like people can throw energy at you and it makes a tear, right? But with these Wei Qi aura rings all nice and whole, and it's harder to tear the aura. It's harder for when other people throw energy. It's less likely that the aura will tear. It still can happen, but it doesn't happen as much. But what I'm starting to notice more and more obviously, because before there was just everybody's aura was so torn that that's all I could do is put it all back together again. But now I'm noticing, now that so many people are learning the aura repair process and everything, I'm learning more, like an extra couple layers more subtle, because I don't have to just do this putting people back together stuff all the time, and as much. And so you can have blackened aura, which means that rather than like really vibrant flowing color in each aura layer, purple, cobalt blue, light blue, green, orange, green, yellow, orange, and red. So it's like the rainbow, right? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, blue, violet. It's just 2 blues, I think, is nice. So for the 5th, a light blue, and for the 6th, a cobalt blue. Not blue mixed with a lot of black, but like cobalt blue, like a very luminous, flowy, deeper blue. That's just, I just call it like the rainbow system. And some people act like that's like gospel. I think it's very useful. And you just set your chakras at these colors with your intention. I do have a 2-page chakra handout, which I would email to anybody that wants, even if you don't pay me money. It's not like that serious. So you could just email me the 2-page chakra handout for the 2-page chakra handout if you want. And it just reminds you of the different colors and what each chakra does and where it's located on your body. But anyway, rather than having that like really vibrant and flowing, you can have those layers and they're not ripped up, but they're kind of like more black than the rainbow color they ideally would be. And white is a way too high vibration for the aura, and black is a way too low vibration for the aura. Low meaning slow moving, white meaning way too fast moving, high meaning way too fast moving. So if your aura is blackened, it's very heavy and slow, and it like one of my newbies, she didn't she loved watching the live stream and she learned a lot, but she didn't feel a big difference in the healing. And part of what I noticed is her aura is really blackened. It's like so heavy and dense, with this, it's sort of like it's kind of like your aura gets burned in a way. It's like so much energy blocks, but then it's like maybe people threw a lot of energy and it's just all burnt up, and so there's always good news in energy healing. You can, that's one of my new phrases now. So gold light fixes it, gently, over time, but, so that's what we're going to address today also is blackened aura. And sometimes people can have, vibrant aura in one spot, and then one other spot, they'll have like a whole section that's all blackened. And it could be that maybe before it was damaged and it got repaired, but it's still like bruised up sort of from that experience. So we will deal with that. Like, for example, I had a participant who got really tense the other day. Their mood was great, and then it wasn't. And when it wasn't, they felt like a heaviness on one side of their aura. And that part of their aura is more blackened. So they have less flow there and less presence. So when they have issues, they're more likely to have them in that sort of problem zone that is all blackened and heavy. So, and you don't have to have clairvoyance to know if your aura is blackened or not. It's just an intuitive thing. You're like, okay, well, is this part, like maybe start with the outermost layer and be like, okay, well, overall is my 7th layer, this outer layer, a nice flowy purple, or is it blackened? Yeah. So like little yes or no intuition. And either way, you can just, without testing, where it is, just watch through your whole aura, and the gold light will melt that away, the blackened parts. So anyway, we're going to do that. The 4th thing we're going to do has to do directly with abundance, because the other things, they were kind of safety, the safety, the Wei Qi aura rings, the CVGV repair, that's for literally physical health, immune system, all that, but also vitality, but courage. I think the GV meridian, well, I think when they're both strong, the GV and CV meridians, when they're both strong and really flowing well, which we're going to work on, that could also give you a sense of courage, even though it's not, like first chakra helps with courage too, but the GV and CV meridian kind of are like, yeah, I'm ready, if they're like balanced and nice. So that also is courage. But what we're going to do for item number 4 today, hopefully we'll have time, is ending agreements, clearing agreements is nice and simple on a spirit level, so you'll be happy with that. But I was just able to read the participants, yesterday some more, and look at what's blocking people's abundance, different people. And there were a lot of past life agreements that were in people's way of their abundance now. So things like oaths of poverty, like for example, there are religions where if you're a religious figure, you should have an oath of poverty. You shouldn't, you give up all your wealth to then, be a priest or a nun at that with, at a monastery or a nunnery, right? And so that oath of letting go of your physical wealth and your financial abundance and just relying on the food and sustenance from your monastery, that is a spiritual agreement that doesn't dissolve when you pass away. And so a lot of people have leftover oaths of poverty, agreements to be poor. They did it because they wanted to focus on, spirit and religion and whatever, but they had their reasons, but now it gets in the way. So some people, like, for example, I have, some clients that, a lot of my clients are women, not all, of course. I do have my male clients, both conscious and also spirit consent male clients. But I have a number of women clients who, they have abundance to a degree, but their husbands make a lot of the money in the family. And part of it's not, so much of an issue in this life because their husbands happen to make a ton of money. So, but they get their abundance kind of, indirectly through their husband. It's still their abundance, but it's kind of rerouted, the income comes to the husband technically in their situations. And part of that is because of, they have these past life poverty agreements still. And so, it affects things. So we're going to help people clear those so that, all these past ones from past lives that they're not relevant anymore, but they're really in the way. So oaths of poverty, oaths of dependence, like when you're like, okay, I'm going to be a monk and then I'm going to depend on just the food that the head monk gives me. That's an oath of dependence. And so some people are caught up in a lot of past life oaths of dependence where they don't make money from themselves. They need to get it from someone else instead. And abundance control people. Some people have abundance control people from past lives where they had a situation where for one reason or another, somebody was controlling their abundance. And that was an agreement on some level, either consciously or accidentally. They got caught up into that pattern with that person, and that pattern is still there. So we're going to help people clear those abundance control agreements with those other people that still exist, but are in other lifetimes. You don't even know them anymore, but on this level, they're actually still suppressing your abundance. So we don't want that. So anyway, it's going to be a lot quicker to do it than it was to explain all that. And the last thing, and then I swear to God, we're going to start. If we have time, we're going to do doom and gloom stuff. We're going to help people clear fears of dying, illness, tragedy, etc., like pessimism. We're going to help people clear pessimism because there are some participants, I think to varying degrees, who they might be sick, but then they think they're dying, but they're totally not dying. But they really feel it. They really like feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna die like now, but they're not, and so it can get in the way and cause a lot of stress. So we're gonna help clear some of that pessimism. And again, it's quicker to do it than it is to explain it. So hopefully the angels will help me to fit it all in. Okay. So let's see how many people I turned off by that long explanation. Oh, fortunately, not that many. Thank you guys for your patience. I just figured it'd be nice for you to know what you're in for, rather than just like, oh, guess what? Guess what? So, okay. So now we're really going to start. And thank you for all your comments. I appreciate it. And we will do maybe a short Q&A at the end. I don't know, maybe I talked up all our extra time, but we'll see. Okay. I was just laughing because I was saying hi to all the 100 participants on a spirit level. Because, plenty of them are asleep right now, or they're telepathic participants. So that means their spirit definitely knows about the healing, but consciously they don't know about it. Their niece paid for them, or their son or daughter paid for them or something. And so they were all thinking that the healing was going to start 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. So they're like, oh, it didn't already start? Because usually, there's a set, it goes, usually it would have started by now. So anyway. All right, so as usual, we're going to start with grounding. So I always suggest that grounding is nice and wide as the width of your entire aura. So you create that with your intention. You just say with your thought or your mind or your imagination, you just imagine a big red or orange or yellow grounding, like a waterfall that goes all the way down to the core of the earth. The aura is this wide as the heel of your hand, and just create your grounding that big. And then I like to make a copy out in front of me so I can comb through it with gold light from my hands, from your hand chakras and your fingertip chakras. They generate light. So you just set your intention, like, okay, all these chakras, I'm going to set them to generate gold light, because they can generate all sorts of different colors. Color is vibration. They can generate different colors of energy, like blue or green or red. But gold, I feel like it's the best for sort of loosening things up, helping you to let go, helping you to heal. So you're just washing out your grounding. And I'm talking like this because it's also a walkthrough later when it's saved as a video. But what I'm doing as I do this is I'm healing the 100 people. But you just heal yourself. Or if you're getting this healing right now live, just relax if you want. I mean, you could heal yourself at the same time, but you don't have to. You can just kick back, relax. Some people they imagine they're lying in a hammock, and they just receive it. Or some people do do dishes and house cleaning at the same time, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you never do house cleaning and all of a sudden you feel inspiration for it while you listen, rock it. So anyway. Again, what are we doing? We're unblocking grounding. What's the point of that? The point of that is it helps you release, it helps you let go. So letting go on that sort of psychological, emotional level, but literally you are releasing chunks of energy that are blocking you up. You're releasing it down your grounding, and then it gets to the center of the earth. If your grounding is nice and flowing, it goes all the way down to the center of the earth, and then it gets neutralized there. So say it's some of your frustration mixed with some of your neighbor's energy, that goes down there, it gets cleaned up, your neighbor gets back nice clean energy, you get back nice clean energy. So I had a participant, who had more tension in their one side of their aura was more blackened and blocked up than the other. Their grounding was more blocked up on that side. So if you normally have issues on this side of your body, then chances are your grounding on that side in particular is blocked up. And that's part of why this can't release well. If this is nice and flowing, then it sort of draws everything down better and helps the flow. And then the back of the aura, the back of the grounding, sorry, um, is sometimes often blocked. So I'm spending extra time in the back of the grounding, all the way down here, all the way down to the core of the earth, just unblocking the back of the grounding. Again, it should be nice and wide as your whole aura. So a lot less people need aura repair right now, but that is what we're going to do right now. Some people do need it. But everybody got it on Friday, plus they got those rings repaired in the Wei Qi auras, which is very protective. So that's why a lot less people need it, because they did get aura repair on Friday, plus they got those rings healed in their Wei Qi auras, which helped keep everything together for the 2 days. But some people have slight damage to their auras anyway. So we're healing right now what I call the regular auras, just your astral body aura and your physical body aura. Those are the auras that most people that are not me would be talking about. You know, they don't talk about the extra auras, the Wei Qi auras. So anyway, that's what we're healing and repairing right now. I will link below later the aura repair videos. Later, I'll link them like within a few hours. I'll put links in the comment section. So to repair the aura, you just send gold light. Again, you just make a copy out in front of you to say, okay, well, this bubble is my aura. You know, you don't have to see. Just be like, this is a copy of my aura, and if it's ripped, I'm healing those rips. And so you just send gold light to the ripped parts. And first that just washes out the ripped parts, and then it starts to repair them, and they grow back. And I'm just going to kind of ease into some Wei Qi aura repair right now too. It was a pretty quick transition just because, like I said, most people didn't need aura repair, regular aura repair just now. Only, you know, that's a common thing people need, but just because these 100 people just got a healing on Friday, plus they got their Wei Qi aura rings repaired. So those particular people, not many of them needed aura repair right now. So now we're doing Wei Qi aura repair, which is your 15 Wei Qi auras. You have 15 of them, but you know, you don't have to, it's not like, you know, you don't have to learn like something unique about each 15 right now. Just there are 15 and they help you have strong boundaries. And they're all in the same place. And they can have rips too, which is why we're healing them right now. And with Wei Qi auras, you just want to think of, okay, what's healthy and gentle for me to repair right now? And that's your intention. But again, same idea. You just send gold light to the ripped parts of all 15 Wei Qi auras. I'm going to spell out Wei Qi auras. Wei Qi auras. Repairing the 15 Wei Qi auras. And again, Wei Qi is a concept from traditional Chinese medicine. I did not invent that. So essentially you can find like, you can do overall combing through and you just send gold light anywhere you need for the Wei Qi auras. There is a video, by the way, just on Wei Qi auras from last month. I'll link it below within a few hours. It's 45 minutes long. So you can do that, like general repair throughout. And then you can pick like, say the two biggest, or two, doesn't have to be biggest, but two, you know, to make a positive impact, but it's healthy and gentle, you know, just pick like 2 or 3 rips to heal. And your intuition and your angels will help you to just pick 2 or 3 rips that would really help you the most to heal right now, that would be healthy and gentle. And just take your time. Because with Wei Qi auras, these rips could have been there for like many lifetimes. Um, that's the thing, because like heaven, I do think heaven is real. I don't think hell is real, but I do think heaven is real. I think your spirit does go somewhere, and it's really nice. And I think that people that have done horrible things also go to heaven. They don't hang out with you, but they do go to heaven, and they get healings, and they get teaching on how not to be that way next time. So technically you want them to go to heaven because you don't want them to be that way next time, right? So it's not like they get rewarded for harming a lot of people, but they people harm others due to inner imbalances, inner wounds. And so, yada yada, you get the point. But anyway, it's like a great, wonderful vacation, and people do get healed and restored, but a lot of these rips in the Wei Qi auras, they don't go away. I mean, I think they get like temporarily mended during your time in heaven, and then you get those wounds back for your next life. Not all of them, but you get back maybe, it depends, maybe half of them, maybe a third of them, maybe 70% of them. Depends on what your angels think you can handle in that next life. But because the idea is you're supposed to heal them yourself. You're supposed to evolve and learn how to transcend your own wounds. And that's what we're doing, guys. That's what you're doing. You're transcending your own wounds. You're healing your wounds. You are regenerating, which is really beautiful. Other people can harm you, but you can heal yourself. And you can get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And you can have your angels give you kind of a sign so you know when you've done enough, like a gold check mark, or like a bell sound, ding, 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 or like also lots of gold glitter, whatever, just say, angels, can we develop like a fun sign so that I know when I've done enough healing of these Wei Qi auras. So I just got like a big old gold check mark from my angels, so that's how I know I've done enough Wei Qi aura healing for now. On you guys, actually. Oh, and just a note, I want to say this, because I've said this before, but say you've only watched this video. I recommend that you heal yourself, and that's it. It's like, don't do what I'm doing at home, kids, like, don't try this at home, kids. I'm healing 100 people right now, and I'm live streaming. Like, that would not be safe for most people to do. It would be very unsafe energetically for most people to do. Yeah. I mean, there are levels of, first you just heal yourself a lot, and then you could practice healing, like a loved one, like your kid or something. And then after a while, you could heal maybe some of your other relatives. And then after a while, if you want to go pro, you could, start healing clients one at a time. And then way down the road, there's a time in some lifetime, maybe, possibly, that you could be ready to heal a bunch of people at one time. But if you heal a bunch of people at one time, you're very noticeable to dark energies on the planet, like the biggest dark energies that exist. You are very noticeable if you heal like 2 people at once, 3 people at once, 100 people at once. And so therefore, that's why there's so much more risk to your energy. So that's why I don't want people to get this false sense that that's easy and safe to do. So I hope that makes sense. If you have questions about that, or healing, or pro healing, or anything, you can ask at the end. We're going to do a little Q&A. And if you're hearing this later, you could post a question under the video, of course. So now we're going to do one of the things that I said we were going to do, which is Wei Qi aura rings. We're just going to finish. We've done a lot of that work already, but we're going to just do a little more because people still had cracks. So we're gonna do more gold light to the Wei Qi aura rings. So you have 15 Wei Qi auras. We were already healing them, and each of these 15 Wei Qi auras has gold rings. One at the top that's sort of oriented like this way, so not like this, but this, right? So up there. So it's oriented that way up there, like that, right? And then there's one there, but it's only as wide as your wrist, so it's not like super big like that, like I just made. It's like up there. And then you have two on either side, just at the edges of your Wei Qi auras. And then, one here for each of your Wei Qi auras. And then you have one at the very bottom. And again, it's oriented the same way like this, down at the bottom. So you have 15 rings up here, 15 rings up here, 15 here, 15 here, 15 here, 15 here, top, bottom, front, back, right? So I'm gonna do it quicker than before. So if you want the slower version, and you might, do the Friday video later. You can get the slightly slower version, because at that I took 23 minutes to do. This I'll do like in about 3 minutes. So right now I'm doing the top rings. You know what? Yeah, I'll do them. Yeah, I'm doing the top rings right now. Just surrounding them with lots of gold light. So technically you're healing 15, you're repairing this part of all 15 of your Wei Qi auras. And if you just send enough gold light right to that spot, it gets any beings out of the way, and it allows these rings to repair. So you're not creating a ring. Don't put an image of a ring there at all. When you send gold light, it just allows whatever should be there, that is you, to reform, to restore itself. So on Friday, it was very funny. There were all these big sound effects because people had all these shattered, broken, crumbled rings, and then they were getting reformed into solid rings. And so it was making a lot of sound, like doo, 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 doo. Later, somebody told me that on their survey, they said that they did hear noise when they were healing their Wei Qi aura rings, but it was much more subtle noise. And that's because she had gotten the Friday healing, so her rings were mostly put together. So she was doing good work, but it was just healing up some of the cracks. So that's a more subtle sound than, the first time that it's done, where, it's going from crumbled to formed again. But anyway, so again, what are we doing? We're just sending gold light to this area here, but we're using a copy, so you just do it out in front of you. But if you're cooking right now, you could just create a whole bunch of gold suns right around here and have them, shine light there. And actually, you could try that too. Just do gold suns and set a whole bunch of gold suns around each spot. So here, 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 and down here, and just let the gold light do the work. But now I'm doing the bottom Wei Qi aura rings, so the 15 Wei Qi aura rings that are at the bottom of each Wei Qi aura. Feels good. I didn't used to heal myself at the same time, but now I do. So technically I'm healing 101 people right now. Because I'm healing myself. I'm the 101. So I got a little ding when I had done enough, from my angels. So now I'm healing yeah, I'll do the back ones first. So it's they're about at the level of your third chakra, even though they don't relate to your third chakra directly. But just FYI, like, where are these rings in the back? There's just the one ring for each Wei Qi aura at the level of your third chakra back here by the edge of the aura. And they're the width of the wrist. So they're not like this copy I was just making with my hand. That's way too big. They're subtle things. They're like right there. But much like your seventh chakra, they're small in size but very powerful. So if you don't have your hands free, you could just put a bunch of gold suns back here so that they shine on your Wei Qi aura rings in the back. So this is something that's safe to do every day, healthy and gentle to do every day, if you wanted. I mean, because it just sets off like a natural, it inspires a natural healing process throughout your Wei Qi auras that helps your immune system, helps your stress levels, helps your energy safety. So it's like you can't do it too much. This particular, repairing and healing these Wei Qi aura rings, because it sets off a naturally nurturing process. But not like you can't do it too much. And then now the front Wei Qi aura rings, which again are roughly about the width of your wrist, the wide part of your wrist, all around. And so those are the last ones for me to repair, for you to repair. And again, if you've already done the Friday video, they're mostly put together probably. You're just probably now you just have some cracks in them, like little lines. They're little cracks. And so that's what you're repairing at this point. But you don't have to worry about it. Just send gold light there, and whatever natural repair process that's needed will happen. All right, I got my ding sound. All right, so what was that? That was more repair work for the Wei Qi aura rings, the rings. So we just repaired the rings of the Wei Qi auras. One on top, one on bottom, one in back, one in front of each Wei Qi aura. Okay. Now, yeah, because I'm like, okay, which do I do first? The Blackened aura stuff or the GVCV meridian work? But the GVCV meridian work is really good for flow, mostly of the physical body, but that does influence the aura. So I think we'll do that first. We'll do the traditional Chinese medicine meridian repair first, because it's a really cool thing. Okay, so I like to imagine these meridians, they energy pathways in your body everywhere. That's why AccuGirl has all these lines drawn on her. I don't know that you can see all the lines, but those are all energy meridians. Those are all acupuncture points and like meridians flowing up and down the body, right? And I could link a playlist of meridians. It's a really cool playlist. I didn't make it, but I use it. And it just shows you like how the energy flows up a specific meridian, and you can like imagine the energy flow as you watch the videos, because it's just a playlist, so it'll autoplay through all the meridians. So you could like heal and repair each meridian as each video is going on. Just real quickly, just like get into sort of a non-resistant space with it and just heal all your meridians as you watch the videos. It's cool. Geeky fun. Okay. But if that's too much for you, don't worry about it. Just relax. We're just gonna heal the two that they're so simple. It's like total luck that these ones that help all the other meridians are like really easy. They're not like zigzaggy or anything. The CV goes up like this, up to the tip of the tongue. It goes up like that. And then this one goes up the back, down here to the roof of the mouth. So technically, if you touch the tip of the tongue to the roof of your mouth, you kind of join them in a nice way, but you don't have to do that all the time. So I'm just gonna heal both of these meridians at once. I like to imagine that life force that should naturally flow in these meridians as a red color. And I like to imagine the meridians much larger than they really are, because a meridian is probably less in size than my pinky, in dimensions. It's very, um, yeah, it's less than my pinky. But I like to imagine a giant copy so that I can see if it's damaged and ripped up. So I imagine like these big red tubes, of red flowing energy going up here and up here. And I see if there are big rips in these red tubes. And so therefore your life force is leaking out everywhere and it's not working right. So for example, if I look at somebody who had what's a good example? Somebody who had sleep issues last night. I'm looking at his GV and CV meridians, and they have giant holes in them. So it's like rather than a nice red tube going up the back of the body like this, it's like this red tube that literally has like giant pieces missing. And then the CV one up the front too, it has like giant pieces missing. So it's just not working right. I would say that's like in a previous video I had called any damage to the meridians fraying, but which is more slight. It's like a rope and little pieces of the rope go out. But this, you can have damage that's way more severe than that. That's just like literally a big piece is just ripped out. So anyway, gold light. And you can repair both of your meridians at once too, the GV in the back and the CV in the front. Just imagine them like nice red tubes that are going upward, and just surround them in gold light. And just let the gold light permeate any of the damaged places. And you don't have to see where they're damaged, just let the gold light go everywhere and you'll for sure get them. And with your intention, you can send the gold light specifically where it's needed. And this does help the flow of all your meridians, even though you're working on only 2 of them, because these are very key meridians. GV and CV meridian, I think they're called Renmai, and I'm going to forget the other one, sorry. They have other names, not just GV and CV, although your acupuncturist, if you say GV meridian and CV meridian, they'll know what you're saying. But one of them is called Renmai, I think, and one's called Dumai. There we go. Found my little cheat sheet. So the CV one that goes up the front is Renmai, R-E-N-M-A-I. I'm just typing that out. And then the GV meridian. It's called Dumai. But you can heal them without knowing what they're called. So now okay, so say then you get the tubes nice and repaired, so there's not these giant pieces missing, so the energy can flow up. You can still have blockages like right at the base of them, like the underside of the body, like right there. I mean, she's not flexible, so it's hard for me to show you, but like right there. They're not the same opening where they start, but they're close. So one starts here, one starts here. So I like imagining that point, GV1 and CV1, the first point in each of these, the first external point in each of these meridians, as like a it's a chakra. All these acupuncture points are little chakras, right? So I just want to imagine like the round opening and just make sure it's unblocked, because you want, it's kind of like if you're doing the red tube, imagining just the start of the red tube. You want the start of the red tubes to be unblocked, because if it's blocked, that's bad. Because kind of like chakras too, these energy meridians, they're for flow, they're for circulating energy, right? And so if they're blocked, it's not going to circulate well. So what are we doing right now? We're just imagining the round openings that start each of these, the CV and the GV meridian. So it's like, under here, right? And you just imagine those two openings and unblock them, so that the energy, can flow from where it's supposed to go into those meridians. So you don't have like a blockage there. And if I look, like, say, at somebody who, well, I'll look at someone who has pretty decent energy flow. Hers was like 30% blocked. Each of them were about 30-40% blocked down there. So now that this is going to not be blocked, she's going to have more energy today. She's going to be like, wow, Janet, I don't know what you did in today's healing, if she doesn't see the video yet, but she'll be like, I have more energy, I feel stronger. So we are helping unblock these very initial points, at the base of the GB and CV meridian, which is like in there, so that energy that needs to can flow into, from other meridians into GB, into the GB meridian and into the CV meridian. And then we're going to unblock the chakras, the little acupuncture points, the little chakras within each GV and CV meridian. And we're just going to unblock them all at once, with our intention, lots of gold light. To the extent that is healthy and gentle to do right now. And I can link a GV-CV meridian video. I mean, there are a lot of GV-CV meridian videos that I've done. All right, so that's enough. So now we're going to do the blackened aura stuff. Yay! So I'm just going to note that we're starting the blackened aura stuff an hour into the healing, just so we know. So, so if you're ever like, what part of the video did you do that at? Sometimes in the healing summary, I'll say the exact time when I started working on something. Not always, but sometimes. So you can always check in the info section of the video. I'll put a healing summary within a few hours. And a lot of times I'll say, we started at this exact time. Sometimes I won't, but then, I might have. Somebody says, which way does the energy flow from front to back or back to front? I think he's talking about there's all sorts of flow everywhere, but chakras, it's a certain way, but meridians, it's something else. Like meridians are not the same as chakras. I mean, there is one meridian that goes up this center line of the inside, and that's where that relates directly to the chakras. There's a meridian that's not external, like GV and CV are external meridians. So they're up along the edge of the body. So they have acupuncture points along the edge. But Anyway, so I'm not sure what your question is, but the GV and CV meridian, they just flow upward like this. And then, but for your chakras, which is a lot of what we work on, we did that more on Friday than we're going to do today because everybody's chakras are still pretty rocking from Friday. So if you want chakra work, do that Friday video, which I will link below later, within a few hours. But we did chakra repair on all the chakras, and I could put that. Yeah, do the Friday video if you want chakras. But anyway, energy with the chakras does flow in most of them, all 6, and then the 7th is different. But for the 6 chakras, energy flows in the front, out the back, and then it wraps around and flows in the front, out the back, and then it wraps around for the 6 chakras. And then this one, energy is like it goes inside your body all the way from the bottom all the way up, and then it shoots out the top and it flows out. So it goes to the bottom and gets pulled up by your 7th chakra all the way up through the inside of your body, and then gets shot up and fountains out. Okay, so moving on to blackened aura. So now blackened aura is really at 1 hour and 2 minutes. Okay, so you just use gold light. Now, we already did grounding. I'm going to check everybody's grounding because it's an important part of the blackened aura stuff. Because the blackened aura stuff, you have a blackened aura because there's this really dense, hard black energy, black as a color. It's very unfortunate that people have labeled human beings as black and white, just because I think that it's just unhealthy. You know, there's a lot of judgment and weirdness about it. So I feel weird sometimes when I have to say, okay, the color black or the color white. I mean, both of those colors actually, fortunately, are not healthy within the energy system. So psychically, there's not a benefit to either energy. Actually, you don't want either energy in your space. You just want rainbow colors in your space. Those are more moderate levels of flow that are really nice to be fully present and well. So that's good. But a lot of people have blackened auras where it's just literally the color black if you were to visualize it, and it's just a very slow moving vibration. So you just use your intention and find those parts. And for some people, it's all over. Or for some people, maybe it's just, you know, like they have a hard shell on the top that's blackened. Or some people, it's like the whole back of their aura, or just one side of the back of their aura is blackened. If I just randomly pick a sample person, it's the whole front. Her front is blackened. Like everywhere else is pretty nice, but like just this, like where my scarf is, this whole front area for her is blackened, which is a big deal. That's in front of all her chakras. It probably messes with her CV meridian, which influences all her yang meridian. So it's probably making her feel more weak and vulnerable. So anyway, there's always good news in energy healing because you can heal it. So that's what we're doing right now. We're just letting the gold light go to the blackened areas, these hard, heavy areas, and just clear what's healthy and gentle to clear right now. I mean, if you have good grounding and you're willing to, you know, check it like 6 hours from now, like if you feel tired or grumpy, you'll check your grounding rather than go, gee, I just feel tired and grumpy. I guess there's nothing I can do about that. You know, no, check your grounding. You just unblock it. You know, just imagine you're grounding and just melt away the blocks. So if you're willing to do that and unblock your grounding, if your grounding gets clogged out, then you can't do this too much. If you're not willing to do that, if you're just like, well, I'm never going to check my grounding again for the rest of my life, and certainly not in the next 24 hours, then just do a teeny bit of this work. But if you're willing to go, all right, Janet, that's fine. If I start getting really pissed in 3 hours, I will promise to unblock my grounding. then I think this is really safe and good to do. And remember, if you have blackened stuff, particularly on one side, also unblock that part of your grounding. So do both. You're gonna kind of suspect that part of your grounding, but also that part of your aura. So you use so much gold light, and then just keep combing downward to the grounding too, and make sure it goes all the way down. And someone asks, the angels direct me to if a question is useful to read right now or if I should save it till later. So I do see a question that's useful now. Another question that's useful now, which is this blackened aura stuff that we're doing, is that the Wei Qi auras or the regular auras? That's the regular auras. I haven't seen yet blackening being an issue with Wei Qi auras. I've seen them just get torn. And I've seen them have hard objects stuck in them from past lives that you just remove and give to your angels. But I haven't seen them get blackened and kind of bruised and heavy like this, like I see in the regular auras, the astral body aura and the physical body aura. So right now we're addressing blackened auras, we're healing them, and that's the regular auras, astral body aura and physical body aura. So what's the difference between just having energy blocks in your aura and having a blackened aura? I think it's just a difference in degree. If it was just one or two energy blocks in a part, I wouldn't, in like one layer right here, I would just say, yeah, you have some energy blocks right there. It would still look black, probably, but if it was like all this was blackened, then I would say, oh, look at that blackened aura. It's just it's just to a greater degree, more blocks, more of an issue. But for example, like if you have a sore shoulder, it's very likely that you have energy blocks in probably the first and second layer right there. So a light level of blackening aura or blocked aura right there. But you may actually have a blackened aura, like the whole darn area is blackened. Particularly if you get headaches a lot, you might have a lot of aura blackening, like right around there. Just a lot of heavy energy. And it could be because I've always wondered, like, what effects, like that some people feel these group healings instantly right away, like the minute I'm doing each thing, they literally feel it physically. And some people, they'll feel it more the next day. And I think the angels are letting me know that one of the factors, there are several factors involved in that, why some people feel it right away and others don't. But one of them is aura blackening. Like if you have more aura blackening, then it just takes a while for the healing energy to permeate properly and have its full effect. Sometimes if you feel less with the healings, watching the live stream does help you feel it more. Like if you watch it later as a saved video. So again, keep unblocking your grounding also, because all this stuff has to go somewhere. It has to release, and so this way it can go all the way down to the core of the earth and just get neutralized and cleaned up there and go to wherever it belongs. All right, I'm getting the check mark, the gold check mark, and the ding sound, so I know we've done enough. Right, so the next thing we're doing, we've already done so much. Yay for us. So now we get to do the, this is directly impact. I mean, everything of this would have helped your abundance. Abundance, courage, safety is first layer of your aura. Like if you picked one layer that was most directly and one chakra that was most directly courage, safety, and abundance, that's first chakra, which generates the layer right up against your skin. And red is a nice color for your first chakra, in my opinion. So you could just set your first chakra at your favorite shade of red. And then that, your chakra spins, it generates energy, it sends it out the back to the whole aura. So this first layer, right? So you can go ahead and notice like, oh, gee, do I have a blackened first layer? So that's not exactly what I said we were going to do, but it's important. So let's just check your first layer. Check to see if you have blackening just in your first layer. And just go ahead and just specifically to your first layer, just do what's healthy and gentle and just melt away the blackened parts, because you want it to be all flowy and red in your first layer. You want it to be your flowy red courage, safety, and abundance energy that is generated by your first chakra. But if it's so blackened, it's hard for your first chakra to do its job and circulate energy in your first layer, because your chakras have several jobs, and one of them is to create energy, create new energy, but then it needs to circulate it throughout the layer. And if there's all these heavy energy blocks, that it makes the chakra work harder to have to, keep the energy flowing. All right, good job. I'm getting my little check mark, so I know we did enough. Okay, so now for sure, this time for sure, we're gonna we finished aura blackening, addressing aura blackening for now. And that is something you can do every day, especially if you promise that if you suddenly feel crabby or really distracted, you're gonna recheck your aura grounding and unblock it. Why? Because clearing all that sets off a lot of nice, good releasing. But if your grounding blocks up like 20 minutes from now, then you can't release more, and it's kind of a weird, funny feeling traffic jam. So just unblock your grounding, imagine you're grounding, melt away the blocks so that you can keep releasing. You can even say, I can let go, I can let go, I can let go. It's okay to let go. Okay. So now for sure, I'm going to write down when we're doing it, 1 hour, 14 minutes into it. Agreements. We're going to clear agreements that are directly suppressing your abundance. And a lot of them are past life agreements, just because, say you've had, 60 past lives already or 40 past lives already. Well, let's see. If there's roughly like 8 to 12 past lives in each chakra level that you've had, and a lot of my clients are like second chakra beings or first chakra beings, spiritual age wise, then you've had like what? Let's average it out to 10 lives per level. If you're late second chakra, that's what? That's 6 levels, so 60. So maybe 50, 55 lives maybe you've had, something like that. That was like really rough math. So, but anyway, if you've had 50-ish lives, 54 lives, that's a lot of past lives, right? So maybe a couple of those lives you did have an oath of poverty that you took for one reason or another, and you can clear those, which is good. And if you haven't cleared them before, they still exist, and so that could be part of what's been messing with your abundance in this life. So agreements, you can imagine them however you want. Sometimes I like to imagine them like little scrolls, like old, partially, maybe it's because the agreements are from a past life, but I like to imagine them like an old way of writing, so like a piece of paper that's wrapped around a stick, like an old scroll, right? So you have your piece of paper and you have a stick and it's wrapped around. But you could imagine it just as a piece of paper if you want. You can imagine it as a rock, whatever you want. But you're imagining old agreements that you made to be poor. And now you might not want those agreements, you know? And I said at the start during the long 25-minute intro section that maybe some of these agreements were religious in origin. You know, you had promised, because some religions, you know, well, I mean, if I don't judge those situations at all. You know, I mean, there are logical reasons why you might want to just, you know, be maintained at a monastery and just focus on your spiritual work. But anyway, so you can clear those old agreements because you're not even a part of that, whatever religion that was anymore. And, you know, you can clear it. So you can have your angels double check them even if you're nervous, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't clear it. You know? I think that leads to a sense now that some people have that spirituality can't make you a living. Like, you can't make a living doing spiritual stuff. I mean, I think ethics are really important, you know, which is why I always try to make my rates as accessible as like literally possible. But you can have ethics and have abundance. You know, you can still pay your bills and be well. So anyway, so that's that. So line up all your old poverty agreements, all your oaths of poverty, all your oaths of financial dependence on others, and just line them all up out in front of you, however you want to see them, as scrolls of paper, sheets of paper, rocks, whatever. And just melt them with cold light. And just say, angels, you know, double check what I'm doing, you know, so that what I'm doing is good for me. And then just go ahead and lots of gold light through these old agreements. And the gold light, it just releases you, you're releasing yourself from the agreement. And you could do that several times, you know, like you could do it tomorrow again, the next day again, or whatever. I mean, you don't have to do it. But because there could be some that you're ready to clear now and more that you're ready to clear later, is the point. Okay, so that was clearing oaths of poverty and oaths of financial dependence on others that may have accidentally, well, it would still be around unless you've done some process to clear it on some level that they've been still impacting you and your money, finances. Okay, so now we're going to clear a similar thing: abundance control people, agreements that you had in some lifetime that person XYZ is in charge of your abundance. So maybe it was a restrictive marriage that you were a part of in a different lifetime, or this lifetime, or maybe you know, one of the participants I saw, like, that in a past life they were very successful at the business that they had, and there was somebody else they would dye clothing, and they would dye fabric and make it into clothing, and it was always done a certain way, like this tradition in this past life, and it was always done with like brown tones, you know, the clothing. And so there was this other tailor who would, you know, dye clothing these brown tones and make the clothing and sell it, and it was very reputable. He'd done it his whole life. And so this she was female in this life, now male, I think, but she thought, well, I'm going to do it a different way. You know, she was also a good tailor, was able to dye clothing and make it into clothes, but she decided to use certain berries that people like 6 hours away used, and to dye clothing. And so her clothing had two different striking colors that were very vibrant, and people took a strong liking to it. And so she made her clothing like that, and people paid twice as much for her clothing. And she got this huge reputation, and took a big chunk of business away technically from the other guy. And that guy, he literally got, I mean, I don't like using the word curse because that is so, like, people get so scared of this stuff. it's just a spiritual way of impacting someone else. That's obviously, I don't recommend at all. It's very negative. But anyway, so he got essentially a curse put on her abundance because he was so pissed. And so you may have some of that from past lives. You may have these negative intentions, let's say. We don't want to say curses. You may have these negative intentions. Somewhere my phone is chirping. You may have these negative intentions from other people impacting your abundance. And so what I would call that is like that this person has an abundance control person from their past. You know, someone who, you know, went out and paid for a curse to be put on them on their abundance, you know, which again, don't get so freaked out about that. It's just the people that put curses on other people, they're not like more powerful than your angels. They're really not more powerful than you even. It's just that, you know, they're a little clever. So they figured out little ways. It's super bad karma though. It's going to screw them for so many lifetimes doing that stuff. But, you know, they figured out a way, oh, if I put these pieces of energy in somebody's space, then that person isn't able to do something anymore. And so, but super bad karma. You know, even if you think you're preventing someone from doing something that's bad, you justify it in your mind, still super bad karma. I would never recommend that you control somebody else. It will come back. It will come back to you. Because karma's like that. You know, you, like, for example, if you take away someone's free will, you're going to have to learn how that feels, you know, in a future life. So, you know, don't do it. I would say, my humble opinion. Anyway, so now we're gonna undo that junky stuff. So any yucky, like abundance control people's kind of stuff that you have in your space. So from past lives usually. So what we can do is just make a big pile, you know, so just make a nice big gold blanket. You can even put like pink hearts on your gold blanket just to keep this positive and upbeat because everyone gets spooked out by curses, you know. So put some pink hearts and flowers on your gold blanket and ask your angels to bless your gold blanket extra. And then just put any agreements that you have with abundance control people. Like say if you were in a restrictive marriage and you agreed that somebody should, you know, keep you from having money, you know, so put all those abundance control people agreements on your nice cute blanket, and then put any, you know, curses, you know, any junk pieces of, you know, devices or something that are from other people from other lives that are controlling your abundance. So anything in your space that's controlling abundance, abundance agreements that you made, and then just, you know, curse stuff, you know, just like devices and stuff from other people that suppress your abundance, and just put that all on your pretty gorgeous blanket that's gold with flowers and hearts, and say, angels, can you double check my pile? That way you don't have to worry, you know, if it's safe to melt it all, then you can, you know, because your angels double checked it. And then go ahead and melt your pile with gold light. And if some of it doesn't melt, we're just going to have your angels clean it up at the end. So don't worry, it'll work. So just melt it all away. So what are we doing? We just made a blanket out in front of us. Technically, it's the blanket exercise is what we're doing. So I'll link the blanket exercise video. But the blanket exercise does not overtly talk about abundance curses. It's just a way of using a blanket, and then you melt whatever's on your blanket, you know, your baggage or whatever. So this is sort of a unique use of the blanket exercise to melt abundance curses and abundance control agreements that you have with other people from past lives. So you're just melting it all. Melt everything that's on your cute, adorable blanket with hearts and flowers. And then just say, angels, can you finish cleaning all that up that's on my blanket? Please. Definitely say angels. That way your angels will do it for you. All right, cool. I just made sure everybody did it. Okay, so that was melting away old agreements, poverty, oaths of poverty, oaths of dependence, financial dependence on others, and abundance control agreements and abundance curses. But again, you know, just so you don't have silly fear in your way, just You could remind yourself, I am a powerful eternal spirit. I am a powerful eternal spirit. I am a big, powerful eternal spirit. Okay, so we're almost done. We're just going to clear some pessimism. So again, this is some people have it more than others. I think that men maybe socially, at least in the U.S. culture that I'm familiar with, men, it's like more socially okay for men to voice pessimistic things, and women are expected to be more positive verbally because we're supposed to uplift everybody. But the men, they're more allowed to be like grumpy and say like really like negative things, like rah, 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 oh, this won't work, or oh, that won't work, but pessimism, even if it's socially accepted, pessimism is it perpetuates stress, and it can be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you can really bring yourself down and draw more negativity to you and have more negative things happen. Like you could be the cause of more negative things happening with your own pessimism. So let's clear that. And let's do it with the blanket exercise all over again. So just make a big brand new gold blanket out in front of you. You can put, a whole bunch of flowers on it, which will be ironic because we're dumping pessimism energy on it. And then just dump your pessimism energy on it. Any energy within you, and it can be subconscious too, because some people, particularly women, may have really repressed that energy, so they don't know they have any of it. But just put it out in front of you. Don't worry about it. Any pessimism energy that you have. It could be from other people. It could be yours. It's just energy blocks typically that cause you to imagine that something's not going to work out, but it's actually not accurate future intuition. It's just this negative mental loop that you're caught in. So just dump all that. Dump pessimism energy blocks out onto the blanket out in front of you. I'm double checking certain people because I had I have like a couple like super pessimists, and I'm just double checking that they're doing it. Okay, so and then just have your angels double check your pile so you don't have to worry that you're going to clear too much, because I don't really think it's possible to clear too much pessimism at once. It's one of those things that's inherently a gentle thing to do. Yeah. The angels say, yeah, that's true. So, all right, so angels double check my pile, and then just use gold light to melt away your pessimism energy blocks that are under your blanket. And these pessimism energy blocks can be from past lives, for sure. So, you might think, well, I have no reason to be pessimistic, but look at my pile, it's giant. Yeah, well, it could be from some very negative past lives, or some past lives where you were raised by very negative people. And so that is just, you adopted those energy blocks. All right. So I'm just going to double check everybody real quickly, and then we're going to do the final angel blessing, and then the healing part is over. So I'm combing out up above the head, just to make sure that there's really good flow above the head for everybody. There's a video called Demo Positive Change Rain. That's a nice one to do. Like if you want to do a different video tomorrow and you including or instead of this one, you could do that, Demo Positive Change Rain, because it just unblocking up here helps to bring in new energy. And a lot of times after a big clearing like this, you have a lot of new energy that you're trying to bring in. So that Demo Positive Change Rain video, it does a lot of stuff, but that's part of what it does. It's just unblock up here. And double checking the grounding. Everybody has their own unique grounding, or should have their own unique grounding. I read this one woman, and she like bonds her grounding to the person she's trying to help, which is not healthy at all. So even if you're trying to help someone, you be your own big strong tree and let them be their own big strong tree. So you have your own roots, they have their own roots that are separate. Even if it's your kid, your kid, let your kid have his own roots or her own roots. You have your own roots. You're a big tree, they're a littler tree, but they need their roots. That way they'll be more balanced and stable. And I'm just feeling like a little bit extra blockage in the front here where people are triggered. Sometimes I talk about that, like if you get triggered, if somebody says something and it upsets you, you are triggered. So try not to think so much about, oh, why does he say that all the time? Or why does she say that all the time? That's upsetting. They should stop saying it. Well, yeah, okay, if you were magic and, whatever, you could make that come true. But what you can really do is you can clear the energy blocks that trigger, because that's really what's making you uncomfortable. So again, that's right in front here. So I'm just doing a little extra work right in front here to help people to clear their triggers. This stuff is not triggered from the healing today. It's just life. It's just general life. Sometimes part of it is politics. There are some world leaders that are very impulsive, potentially. And that can be triggering for other people that, whose lives would be impacted by it. So whatever's triggering you, you can clear the triggers. And then you can, from a more balanced perspective, think about, well, is there a mindful reaction that I should make? Should I donate politically? Should I, just pray? Should I ask the angels to clean out planetary darkness energy from that world leader? Stuff like that, but you don't have to be triggered by what this world leader does. You can clear your triggers and then from a mindful, more wise place, decide if there is an action that you choose to take. All right, so then just ask your angels, can I please have a healing and a blessing? And just say that with your mind. Even if you didn't know you have angels, you really do. And they hear thoughts perfectly. So you just say, angels, can I please have a healing and a blessing? All right. And so now the little thank you part. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So I'm just waving to all the 100 participants on a spirit level, and they're saying thank you, which is adorable. So cute. Okay, great. So now the healing part's over after only an hour and 35 minutes. But part of that is because that technical intro took a long time. But I think useful. So you know what you were in for. Okay, so I'm going to catch up a little bit on comments. And if you have any, I thought that was interesting on Friday. Some people were kind enough to text chat how they were feeling after the healing, which is, I think it's interesting for other people to hear. It's interesting for me to hear. Optional though, don't feel forced to comment ever if you don't choose to. But some people did say how they're feeling. So if you want to do that, you could text chat how you're feeling right now after the healing. Or just, if you didn't pay for the healing, but you were healing yourself, you can say that and how you feel. Or, if you have an energy question for me about any energy stuff at all, I may have time for it. So you could text chat that now. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, give a thumbs up to the live stream, please, or the video. If you're watching later, give it a thumbs up if you would be so kind, and that could help the video, help YouTube take it seriously. So, a lot of these comments I did get already. I did read. Some extra hellos, thank you. Um, More hellos, thank you. Some people coming on during the live stream, which is fine, of course. So it says they're coming in super late. Yeah, but fortunately it's not an exam, so you're right on time. Whenever you start watching, it's right on time. Don't worry. Um, yeah, some of these questions I already answered. Waiting for the pessimism healing. Yeah, yeah, we did that right at the end. The pessimism healing. It was basically blanket exercise to just dump all your pessimism on the energy blocks that are generating your pessimism, subconsciously and consciously. I'm so grateful for this black aura healing. I've noticed it looks like layers of black paint on my back left side. Yeah. Sometimes I'll notice it like if I'll have like a layer, like, let's see if I can find any right now because I just got the healing. Okay, so my first layer, like right here, it's like half blackened and half red. The rest is all nice and red because I just got this amazing healing from this amazing healer. Plus I heal myself. So, but anyway, this one like just from like not even over here, just like here to here, like up and down is like half black. The inner half is black and then the outer half is red. So, I can just like extra gold light, extra gold light, extra gold light. Ugh. So now it's like 20% black and then 80% red right here. So extra gold light, extra gold light, extra gold light. There we go. Yeah. So now it's like 100% red flowy, red flowy, red flowy, red flowy, red flowy. Okay. I said red flowy, by the way. Sorry, I'm kind of mumbling. My blackened aura is on top of my head going down my back as a guess. Yes, that is true. But now it's better. Sorry if I missed this. You mentioned already the blackened aura. Yeah, the blackened aura is part of the regular auras, astral and physical body aura. You mentioned there could be white areas in the aura that are too high a vibration. I can see those. Should I just use gold light on those too? Yeah. Yeah. Or earth energy. Like if like say if you have white, in like your outermost layer of your aura, purple's a nice color for the 7th layer. So you could bring up purple earth energy and just soak your whole 7th layer in purple. Not everywhere else, because that's too high a vibration for your inner layers. But you can just bring purple earth energy up and just kind of, give yourself like a mud bath of purple earth energy right there. Just cook it out, Sometimes it's a being. So you could just say, angels, if these are beings, can you please recycle them? But yeah, white, you always get it out. And, there's this confusion because people say, well, okay, but don't the angels use white light? I talk to angels. Not that I'm the only one. You can talk to your angels too. So you can double check with them about what I'm saying. But from what I can hear, the angels say that they use a certain type of white light when we're in heaven, but not when we're in the lifetime. Because when we're in the lifetime, white is too high a vibration, and so you can't be in. Oh, man. Couple beings are triggered. Okay, good. I had a couple beings messing with my eye. But anyway, so angels use white light when you're in heaven, but not when you're in the lifetime because white is too high. So gold is like a big notch slower moving than white. So gold is high vibration, helps you let go of things, but not too high. So yeah, because everyone thinks white is spiritual because they've heard the angels use white light. Yeah, like when you're in heaven, which you're not right now. But, like to be present, you gotta, waits for later, rock the rainbow, All right. Such a good point about triggers. Yeah. Thank you, Janet. That feels like a lot of work. I think she means that she feels like that we just did a lot of work. So thank you. Thank you, Janet. I feel so grounded and clear. Good. I'm glad. Thank you for sharing your feedback. Thank you so much, Janet. You're welcome. Ready to take on my new job. Feel in charge. Yes, you are very ready. And that's great. Thank you, Janet. I've been working on my first layer and first chakra and have removed so many large weight objects from my feet and legs, hoping to achieve greater presence in all chakras this year. Yeah. So I would just say, sometimes hoping is like it's a little bit of a, like, here's like a goal, and then hoping is like maybe 10% more passive than the goal. So you just say, my goal is to get more present this year. My goal is to, get in all my chakras as soon as possible. You know, uh, hoping it's kind of like, well, maybe it won't happen, but I hope, maybe there's a little fear in there, but anyway, so I don't mean to split hairs. I think that's great to have a goal of getting more present this year. Yes. Great, thank you. While clearing the Wei Qi aura rings, while repairing the Wei Qi aura rings, we're not clearing the Wei Qi aura rings, but anyway, we're repairing the Wei Qi aura rings. I noticed slow stream, but gold light would help. I would do in batches of 5. I would hear them go so strong. Anything else we would notice? Yeah, I mean, that's a lot you noticed, so that's enough. Please do shielding healing from elite nefarious vampires. Oh, girl, chill out. Yeah, we're not gonna do shielding from elite nefarious vampires today. No. Sometimes you can just trigger yourself a little too much. You can think of all the terrible things in the world just a little too much. And what that does is that triggers too much fear. Then your first chakra is like going, wah! And it's very weakening. So what I would suggest to that person and to some other people too, if you keep thinking of all the negative things in the world, then balance that out with nourishing stuff like the tricolor earth energy soak, which I will link below within a few hours. Tricolor earth energy soak. It's so simple. It's like 5 minutes. It's like a 6-minute video. Kids do it even. And you're just soaking with like red earth energy and then orange earth energy and then yellow earth energy from the earth. And you can do that in all layers, all chakras throughout your body, throughout your aura. And just cook in that. Just like bring up some red earth energy and just chill and just make some, maybe flower healing. You can do flower healing exercises and just nourish. I think there's a flower healing for courage, which actually is actually anybody can do, even if you're not prone to fixating on negative things. Flower healing for courage. So I will link that below later. That would be a really nice compliment to this session. You can do it right now. Just make energy healing flowers that are good for your courage and safety and abundance. Let's do all 3. So any energy that you need right now that's healing energy that would help your courage, safety, and abundance, just make it out of universal healing energy. Make a whole bunch of energy healing flowers for your courage, safety, and abundance, and say, angels, can you please check my flowers? And give them to yourself. Angels, so go ahead and make more energy healing flowers for your courage, safety, and abundance. Angels, can you check my flowers? And give them to yourself. Okay, so I have helped people to stop fixating so much on negative, frightening things because you're really making it worse. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it does. Thank you, Janet. I don't normally feel it till the healing, till days later, but this time I think I did feel lighter. Nice. Yeah. So it could be maybe the Wei Qi aura rings that work that we did on Friday got you a lot more present. That's what I saw, that the Friday healing got people a lot more present. But just putting, giving everyone the repair of the 15 Wei Qi aura rings that are the 4 rings in each Wei Qi aura. that got people a lot more present. And then like that's why we had to do the GV and CV work, because some people didn't need it as much, but some people really needed it. And now they're getting way more present, and they could feel like, oh, something's wrong. But it was wrong before. But we had to like catch up people and make it nicer, because now that they were getting more present no matter what. And so now with this flowing and more repaired, it's like now it should feel better too. Okay. So thank you for sharing your feedback. So yay, during the live stream, I checked work emails and read the one I would have avoided, but responding to the email, stopped listening to the live stream and got a headache. Seems to be cleared now. Yeah, so, it's up to you. Everybody's different. Maybe, yeah, doing whatever you've been avoiding during your live stream could help. It's up to you. Wait, LOL, vampires exist? No. No. I think the way in spiritual circles, some people talk about vampires because they're talking about people that take energy from others. But I think that's often very dramatized. I think that, okay, let's say Jane. Jane is fearful of vampires. I'm just using a sample, example person, right? So Jane is afraid of vampires, energy vampires. She talks about energy vampires a lot. She has dated 3 different energy vampires in her past, she calls them. What does that mean? Well, it means that Jane probably has a really ripped up aura, and so she is like a free dinner sign for anybody who wants to take energy, So rather than think, oh, I'm Jane, I need to repair my aura, I need to learn how to be present and safe, she's going, oh my God, there's so many energy vampires in the world. Wah! Right? But no, just learn to take care of your stuff. Learn to have a whole aura. Learn to repair your chakras. Learn to ground. Get some healings for help, because at first maybe you're so beat up, you're not disciplined enough. And that's natural. That's okay. But pay for some healings from some nice healer who doesn't charge a lot. And get your stuff back together again. And that way you have greater wisdom, you have greater intuition, and you're not so easily manipulated by others. So then you don't have to, go on and on about energy vampires in the world, yada, 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 yada. And then, you can clear victim energy. I have a video, clear victim and murder energy. And you can work on that. And you can work on, I have a recording on my website called, releasing resentment, betrayal, and conflict energy. So you can clear that. So you can really get out of these negative patterns that you are in. Do you see what I'm saying? Rather than thinking, oh, there are these energy vampires. Wah! I need to shield. No, you're not actually fixing the problem. You're just freaking out. So you go within, you fix your inner issues, and then now you don't have that issue anymore. So yes, there are not real vampires. The Wei Qi techniques have been a game changer. Love them. Oh, good. Good to hear. Yay. Yeah. Well, part of that is I have a great acupuncturist, and she's really, she's very present, and she'll say something, like I'll say what I'm going through, and she'll be like, oh yeah, in Chinese medicine, there's this Wei Qi energy. So then I'm like, that's what I'll call it. Yeah. So anyway, okay, cool. So I think we should probably end this live stream. But I will do another one in 2 days. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. And what I said in the beginning, which I will remind people of now, is I think there's like 22 spots left for the January 19th January 19th Healing Masterclass on inner child healing and playfulness. And that also will have, of course, all the healing masterclasses on the third Sundays have archangel messages from Ariel and Jophiel. So that will have that too. What type of affirmations can we use to yeah, I'm not going to go there anymore. No more. Thanks, Janet. Feeling great. Well, thank you very much too. And thanks. It's really, it's an honor to work with so many people and so many kind people. So thank you. Bye.